Hello everybody and welcome to a festive video update. It's the 1st of December. There's going to be a fair few things happening on the channel in December as per usual, so I thought what better time than to bring you a video update than the turn of the Christmas month. So you should know me by now. You should know me by now, most of you, quite well. And if you do, you know that I particularly like Christmas, okay? And I don't really get into the Christmas spirit until at least December. Usually a bit later, usually mid-December before I start feeling a bit Christmassy. But this year, for whatever reason, I'm going into it great guns. I'm getting my plans up early. I'm getting the Christmas tree up tomorrow. I've even got, you can see in the background there, shining away, flickering away. I've even got my festive Yankee candle ready already. The air smells of cinnamon stick. Oh, I love it. So yes, I'll give you a nice little festive background too. So let's embrace the festivities. And I've even heard a Christmas song on the radio yesterday in the car. So it's all coming to a fore here. So let's dive straight in. I've got a few things to update you with. I've given myself a 20-minute time limit, which means it's going to be a 30-minute video, clearly. And I've even got myself on my screen a list, an agenda to discuss things so that I don't go off topic and I can get through things as swiftly as possible so I don't bore you to death. My throat still isn't 100%, I'm still talking a little bit strange, but it's better than it has been, so I can at least raise my voice a little bit now and show my excitement. So, it's the 1st of December, and there's two things particularly that happen on the channel in December. The first one has been on the go since the very first year, and that is Christmas comedy clips. Now, for those of you that are new, what Christmas comedy clips is it's a compilation of my funny moments throughout the year, and they are mostly suggested by you. I do find a couple myself, and I rely on you to get me the clips. Now, Catherine has been the Christmas comedy clip guru for the past few years and really helped with these compilations. And thank you once again for your hard work this year, Catherine, because lots of timestamps to go on. But now is the time to start sending me those Christmas comedy clips. If you have any clips from any of my videos this year that have made you laugh, cry with laughter, laugh with your head off, whatever. Funny moments from any of my LPs, any of my videos this year, send them to me, whether it's a video, video title and part number and timestamp, or whether it's a description of what happened and I might be able to find it myself. Just send it to me, either on a comment on the video here. No, oops, it's been a little bit of a while since I've done this. Don't put it on the comment section of this video because I like it to be a surprise for people. So send it to me privately, either a DM on the Discord server. I don't think you can private message on YouTube anymore, but you can send it to me on my Facebook, send me a Facebook Messenger DM on my Let's Play Some Games channel. You can send me a DM on Twitter even as well, but send it to me privately if you can, and I will take that comedy clip and I will put it on the list. And hopefully, when I compile this list in full and get the video ready on Christmas Eve, what will happen then is I will upload the Christmas comedy clips compilation of clips suggested by you guys, and I will upload it on Christmas Day so that you have something humorous to watch and to make you laugh, and it's a Christmas tradition on the channel now. So get your clips to me. All the ways you can get them to me will be linked in the description of this video, and I'm going to start as of today going through all the videos, looking at all the comment sections, and starting to compile the comedy clip list ready for the preparation of the video to go up on Christmas Day. So that's the first thing. Start getting me those clips. It's that time. I don't know where the year's gone. It's flown by far too quickly. A minute ago it was June and I was on a cruise, and I was on a cruise where I got tonsillitis and I couldn't eat properly and couldn't enjoy it. And here I am 5 months later, it's almost Christmas, and I've just come back from a cruise and I've got tonsillitis again. Common theme, I think, there somehow. But anyway, so that's the first thing. The second Christmas tradition on the channel, which started about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe just 4, was the dawning of the Christmas party stream. And what the Christmas party stream is, I do 2 a year. I do one for Christmas, I do one for my anniversary in April. It's a stream. It's a stream. It's a party stream. Remember when lockdown came along and we had these virtual parties because nobody could leave their homes? Well, I started this theme before that happened because I'm a trailblazer, you see. I was the one that embraced virtual parties before they became a thing that everybody was doing. But yeah, it's a virtual party. I stream. I do some things, mainly non-LP based, for something a bit different. I've built a chair. I've done some charades. You've tried to make me laugh. A whole host of things have been done. I always order a takeaway on camera, which you guys choose, and we've had some horror shows. I've had some drunken incidents with the restaurants. I've had incidents where restaurants have been closed after I spent half an hour ordering food. Something will go wrong with the takeaway ordering. It usually does. That's always good for a laugh. But yeah, the Christmas party stream will be going ahead this year. So there's 2 things to note. The first thing is the date and time. Put it in your calendars, put it in your diaries. I've put it in mine already. It is Thursday, the 22nd of December. That's the closest I could get to Christmas because I'm going out on the Friday, Mad Friday. So I can't do the Friday the 23rd. So, and I don't do Christmas. I did do Christmas Eve actually one year, and Christmas Eve does fall on a weekend actually. So I could do it on the 24th, but it's likely that people are doing stuff on Christmas Eve. So I've plumped for the 22nd of December, which is a Thursday. I've booked the Friday off. Don't know about yourselves, but hey. But I've booked it off. But we're going to do it on the Thursday. We're going to start it at 6. So if you are working, you want to leave at midnight, for example, or leave at 11 or whatever, you can do that. GMT time, of course. So, yeah, it's starting at 6 p.m. on the 22nd of December. That's the first thing to note. The second thing to note is ideas. Ideas of things to do. We could do things that we've done in the past and bring them back again. If you can think of some new stuff to do, happy days. On the Discord server, I'm going to create a channel on there for suggestions for this year's Christmas party stream. So head over there and put down any ideas you've got for segments that you want to see in this year's Christmas party stream. So there you go. I'll think of some stuff to do as well, just in case none of you do. But, it's good to get other people's ideas and try to avoid game-related stuff like, play this game. I mean, I might set aside an hour to play something a bit different. Remember, we played the Jackbox Party Pack back in April, I believe. So something like a community-based game like that would be quite fun. But generally speaking, I try to avoid playing regular games because I play games all year, of course. So that's that. So get over to the Discord, start suggesting some stuff for the Christmas party stream. Now, that's the main 2 important updates for this video, really. So that's why I've put them up front and centre. So if you want to dash off now after 8 minutes because you've got things to do, feel free. But there's a couple of other little things that I'm going to update you with on this video update. First of all, I'm going to update you with the channel stuff that's going to be happening December and into the new year, which won't take long because there's not much happening really. And then I'm going to give you, and finish off because a couple of people have asked, I'm going to give you an update on my holiday I've just been on to tell you how it was. So, channel update. Pathfinder, Kingmaker. I'm trying my best to get this game finished before the turn of the new year. So I'm getting headfirst into that. So all of my efforts are focused on getting videos up there, and as many videos as I possibly can in December, whilst doing other stuff such as going to 2 Christmas parties next week, for example, and as many streams of that as possible too to help with the pacing. I don't know how long is left. I try not to look at that kind of thing because I don't want to appear as if I'm trying to rush through to a finish. So we'll see what happens as I take my natural pacing through December with this game. But I don't want to start anything at the moment else. So if you're not a Pathfinder fan, I do apologise because that's all that's going to be on the channel in December. But that's the way that it is at the moment. So that's that. So then when we turn into the new year, on the 1st of January, 2023, my plan is to start 2 new series. The first one being CK2, a Game of Thrones mod, That will definitely be starting 100%. And the second game that I'm going to start is the F1 Manager game that was released in August now? 4 months ago. Well, three and a bit months at the moment, but where the hell did that time go? So, yes, that is the two games that will be played for the first couple of months of the new year, and Pathfinder if it needs to be finished. So we've got a good old grand strategy roleplay heavy playthrough with a CK2, a Game of Thrones mod. That should be good fun. And we've got a simulation F1 game for something a little bit different. But we did do Motorsport Manager with Mr. Potter and Phoenix Knights Racing Team, so it's not too dissimilar to something that I've done in the past. So we'll be having a bit of an RPG break, because my plan is, in February, I believe it's coming out, Hogwarts Legacy, the Harry Potter roleplay game. That's coming out in February. I haven't checked before this video. I could have given you the precise date if I'd done my research. But my plan is to start that and play that on release. So when it comes to that game being released, we'll be playing 3 games at a time, which I found to be quite a challenge now in my current schedule. But we're going to dive headfirst into that challenge, because all of those games I want to play. I've got an ever-growing backlog of games on my list that I want to play on the channel, and we ain't going to play them unless I start pulling my finger out my backside. So, yeah, Game of Thrones mod for CK2, F1 Manager from the 1st of January, and then some Hogwarts Legacy, hopefully from day of release. If it gets put back, we'll reassess what else we do. But yeah, that's the plan between now and February on the channel. Any suggestions at all for yourself? If you've got any suggestions about the channel, about how things are done, about how things, length of the videos, frequency, best time to upload them, blah, blah, anything at all. I'm open to feedback. I've been doing this quite a long time now, and I tend to get stuck in a rut. So not say stuck in a rut, but I tend to do things the same because I'm a creature of habit, and sometimes breaking the habit can be a good thing. And on my holiday, which I'm going to talk about soon, I did some thinking about stuff and realised that I need to embrace change a little bit more in my life and do things a little bit different and spice things up. So, I'm certainly open to some suggestions how we might be able to spice the channel up a little bit, for example. So, yeah, any suggestions on changes, improvements, things we could do a bit different on the channel, as wacky and as zany as it might sound. If you want to suggest it, make a comment and I'll take it into consideration, because why not? 2023, the year of change, who knows, maybe. So that's that. So that's the channel, and we'll finish off. I'm rattling through this. Having a list is very helpful. We'll finish off, if you're still with me, on the cruise. I've been on a cruise. So here's the story. So if you don't know, I go on cruises a hell of a lot. I've done over 20 cruises now since I started cruising in 2008. And we started out as I'll go once. My mother begged me to go on a cruise with her because she'd done a taster cruise, loved it, and she said, but my dad at the time, who was alive at the time, didn't like water. Was petrified of the water, so I wouldn't go on a cruise. And so she asked me, will you come on a cruise with me? So I said, no, I don't. On a cruise, I don't think so. It sounded quite pretentious at the time. Cruise, I want to go on a cruise with all the posh people. No, thanks. And I eventually caved in, and I said, look, I'll do one cruise with you. Just to say you've done it, I've done it, then we can put this silliness to bed and go back to our holidays in Jamaica on the beach, all right? And I did the first cruise with her in February 2008, to the Caribbean on the Grand Princess, and was hooked. And 26, 27 cruises later, here I still am, and doing hopefully where I can fit it in a couple a year, but at least once. Obviously, exceptions made for 2020 and 2021 for obvious reasons. But yeah, so we were back onto the cruising in June on the new the new Enchanted Princess, and had an okay time. I got tonsillitis very early in the cruise. My throat was on fire. I couldn't eat properly. I couldn't enjoy the holiday because it was so painful. I had to go to the medical facility. I had to take medication. I had to have injections in my backside to take the swelling down because it was that urgent. So generally speaking, the ship was lovely. You know, we loved Princess. The food quality had gone noticeably downhill, but they had a problem with their stocks because the cruise ship had diverted away from its original plan to pick us up and go into the Mediterranean, which it wasn't intended to do. It was intended to go to the Balkans. So they had a supply issue. So that could have been something to do with the food being not quite up to par if they couldn't get all the stuff that they needed. But long story short, the tonsillitis kind of ruined it for me. So we came back from that cruise in June, and I turned around and said, right, we're going to book another one in November. Because I didn't enjoy that, and I want to enjoy one holiday this year, so we're going to try again in November. And my mother's like, okay, if you insist. And so we booked this cruise on the P&O Iona. It's the third time I've been with P&O. It could well be the last. So we signed up, we booked up, and we went on it. And I ended up getting tonsillitis again. The symptoms only came out on the last day of the holiday, thankfully, so it didn't spoil it. And I went with my mum, and I went with a friend as well. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Really enjoyed the experience as a whole because I was on holiday with people I get on well with. We were laughing, we were howling with laughter. Every day was a laugh, you know, usually at my poor mother's expense, bless her, because she's got some quirks. She's 76 and she needs a wheelchair to get around for long walks and stuff, and I end up pushing her and she barks orders at me, and we tend to torment her a little bit. And we had a great time. That being said, the cruise ship and the cruise company, well, here we go. I've got a long list of things that I didn't like, and I'm thinking to myself, what I'm going to reel this list off about things that I really didn't like about the ship or the company. And but as I said, I started a great time. But yes, so I've been with P&O 3 times. I usually go with Princess because I really like Princess. It's very laid back. You get a lot of older clientele on Princess. When I go on holiday, I like slow paced. I like to read. I like to chill. You know, Royal Caribbean is our second favourite cruise company. They cater to a bit more of a family-oriented, younger market, a bit more lively, a lot more stuff going on, much larger ships, much more vibrancy, and that's got its place, and I enjoy that too. But they're a bit pricier at the moment, Royal Caribbean. Otherwise, I would like to go on one of their new ships that's come out recently. Maybe that's something for next year. But anyway. And there's P&O, which is a predominantly very British clientele. It's British, you know, it's catered to the British. You get a lot of British people on them. About 90% of the people on the ship are British. Whereas on the other companies, you get a bit more of a mix. And I'm British. I mingle with British people all the time at home. And I'm one of these people that likes to mingle with other people on holiday. So when you go say, to the Caribbean on an American ship, you get a lot of Americans, you get some Canadians, and you get still quite a few British that fly over as well. So you get a bit more of a mixture rather than 95% British, which I find is a little bit boring. I mean, I'm not saying British people are boring in general, but I want to experience some American culture. I want to experience some Canadian people's culture. I want to mix with a variety of different people. You don't get that on P&O, especially when sailing out of Southampton. But anyway, so that was one issue with it, slight issue. But nonetheless, we found we made friends. We had a laugh with people, and also a lot of the staff was so very friendly, that we got on really well with the bar staff where we sit, the main bar that we sat at, and we gave them a really, really decent tip between the three of us that went. We pitched in and gave some very generous tips to them because they were some real good guys that served us. But anyway, so that was one slight downside to the holiday. Not enough mixture of other nationalities, which I quite like. And then we get to some first world problems. And I know that some people can't even afford to go on holiday at the moment and, heat their homes and eat, let alone cruise away. So I've got to put this into some kind of perspective. But hey, it is a holiday, so the first thing that we wrangled a little bit was this really is a first world problem. Every cruise that we've ever been on, they clean your room twice a day, once in the morning and then once in the evening. It's just the way it's been. Not on this ship, it wasn't. So the first day they cleaned it in the morning, and then we came back after our day, and then the room wasn't clean in the evening. We were like, he's forgotten to clean the room, the steward. He's forgotten to clean the room. So rung up and complained to the desk. Our room's not being cleaned. Can you send him up, please, or whatever? And no, we don't clean the rooms twice a day here, only the once. I was like, what? Now, ordinarily fine, it's not a major issue, but we were 3 people to 1 cabin. The cabins are really designed for 2, so it was cramped. There's lots of clothes everywhere, lots of things. So, especially in a room with 3 people, having it cleaned twice a day would be quite useful. But hey, that was their policy, and that was their policy not because they were understaffed. They were understaffed by 300 on the ship, and therefore the cabin steward who cleans the room in the morning was then redirected to do other jobs in the evening, hence they couldn't come back and do the rooms twice. So it wasn't for any other reason than because they were understaffed. So that was the first issue. And this ship was bigger than I thought it was, actually. It had 5,200 passengers on it, and I thought it was only about 3.5. So it's a pretty large ship. So they were understaffed, and therefore they had to make some sacrifices, it seems. So that was a little wrangle. The second wrangle, really big wrangle for me as a rum drinker, is their selection of drinks in general was quite poor. Their selection of rums was atrocious. There was, in every bar, 3 rums. There was 3 main rums. There was Captain Morgan's Dark. There was Dead Man's Finger Spiced, which I don't like. And there was another one, something else, which didn't interest me, to be honest with you. And then in the one bar that we sat at every night, they did a rum called Pineapple Grenade, which was a 64% overproof pineapple spiced rum, which was the rum of choice for the entire cruise. And actually, a very nice rum, thankfully, so we had something to drink, because I'm not over keen on Captain Morgan's Dark, and I don't like Dead Man's Fingers. And it's not that I don't like many rums. I don't dislike many rums, but that's one of the couple that I dislike is Dead Man's Fingers. So they didn't have Morgan Spiced. I mean, every bar in the world has Morgan Spiced nowadays. Surely it's a common staple. But they didn't have Morgan Spiced. So that was a big disappointment. I had a drinks package, and this video update is now 22 minutes long. I had a drinks package which I paid £40 a day for. And I don't think I actually drunk that much to get £40 a day worth of drink out of it, but at least it took the mind off having to constantly watch your bill, and I did have a good go. But despite the fact that I paid for a drinks package, and I've paid for drinks packages on other cruise companies, Royal Caribbean's been the best because you get unlimited. You can have any drink you want up to the value of, I think it's $12. On this ship, you could drink drinks up to the price of $6.95, and a lot of the drinks were over $6.95, so it really restricted what you could drink on the drinks package. You could only have singles, which is the same on any cruise ship, which is fine. They limited you to 15 drinks. I never drunk more than 15 alcoholic drinks in a day, so that wasn't an issue. It was just the fact that, yeah, a lot of the drinks that you might wanted to try, or little cocktails you wanted to try, you couldn't because they were over the price of the single drink allowance, and the selection of rums was pretty shocking, really. And your soft drinks, you could only drink soda drinks. You couldn't have cans of pop or bottles of pop or ginger ale or whatever, which, again, seemed a bit strange because a can of Coke or whatever is about whatever price it is, £1 or whatever, but yet I'm having alcohol in this package. So what's the issue with me having a can of Coke? It's less than £6, isn't it? But no, you couldn't have branded drinks. So I was always going to have the drinks package because I was intending to drink a lot of alcohol, but it was a very restrictive one. And then the biggest kick in the teeth was when we ended up going to because they've got contract with Costa on P&O, and your coffee shops are all Costa coffee. I went to get a Costa coffee from my friend who wanted a caramel latte, and I was told, you give the cards over with the drinks package sticker on it, and you can't have caramel latte on the package. Sorry? Because we've got to put the caramel syrup in it, it's classed as a food item, so you've got to pay extra for it. The poor man suffered my wrath, shall we say. I said, it's not your fault, I know, but I've had it up to it. Anyway, I went on a bit of a rant, but anyway. So that was also the clip. So yeah, and that moves me on to, there was a lot of money-grabbing tendencies, I think. And I know that cruise companies are having to recoup losses now from the past couple of years, but a lot of things that I've not had to pay for on previous cruises were pay. You had to pay for them on this one. So I was like, But anyway. So that was that. Another issue, it was booking things on an app. You have to book everything on an app. If you want to go to the theatre, you've got to book your place on an app. And if you don't book your place on an app quick enough, they get fully booked and you can't watch the show. And that happened twice. And I was not happy about that. But hey, and not only that, but I'm on holiday. And I'm one of these people, I'm going on holiday, I don't want to be stuck to a phone. I don't get Wi-Fi. I very rarely check my phone or get a phone signal. I try to detach from technology, read, enjoy people's company, talk, do things that you wouldn't tend to do at home. So having to worry about booking a show on an app and book your restaurant on an app and get in the queue of the restaurant, otherwise you can't have your dinner, it became a bit of a stress. So that was an issue. Bartenders not being able to take orders was a very strange practice. There's something about going to a bar and sitting at the bar, having a chinwag with the bartender and ordering your drink, and he'll say, "Oh yeah, lovely, let me take your card, I'll scan your card, and then I'll pour you a drink," and it's a bit of banter. The bartenders couldn't take... They could take your order if they weren't busy and make it, but then they couldn't charge your card. One of the bar waiters had to charge your card. So you go sit at a bar where there's nobody around you. You sit at a bar. "Hello, bartender, can I have such and such?" And then if they didn't want to take your order, they'd be like, "Oh, you're going to go see the bar waiter." So then you've got to wait for the bar waiter to come to the bar to you, to take your order, to take your card, and then when he taps it through on an iPad thing... It goes through to a receipt machine, which prints the receipt off with a drink on it. The bartender pulls the receipt out. "Oh, you want a Coke?" "Yeah, I could have told you that over the bar, mate." Why are we going through an iPad to a receipt machine for you to pour me a drink? And that led to a long bar queues because it was just a very slow system. I don't understand why they did that. That was a stupid system. So getting drinks at a bar, rubbish. I had a good holiday, by the way, but I'm just giving you some of the downsides in case you ever want to go on a cruise with P&O on the Iona. You might want to just think what I'm saying here. So that was one other thing, and then this is not their fault, I suppose, but we went to the Canary Islands, and one of my favourite Canary Islands is Lanzarote. I really like Lanzarote. We had a plan to go out to the Fire Mountains of the whatever it's called. I think it's called the Fire Mountains in Lanzarote, and go up there, have a bit of a walk around, have an active day out, because my mother's obviously not active, so we had a beach. We went to the beach in Tenerife, and we went on a bus tour in Gran Canaria. So me and my friend were going to go and have a good 2-3 mile walk around the Fire Mountains and get some exercise in, and just, it's a beautiful place. I've been there before. And then I was planning to buy some wine from Lanzarote because they do a lovely sweet wine from grapes grown in the ashen soil, the volcanic soil that's grown in the ground. We went to the vineyards there, and they're kind of grown in a crater in the soil, and they come out really, really sweet, and they make this lovely sweet wine. And that was all planned out, ready to go, and then 2 days before we were due to get there, the captain comes on the tannoy, and we're not going to Lanzarote because it's too windy. Oh, for God's sake. So we didn't get to go to Lanzarote either. So that was a bit of a... but yeah. And then the final thing, a minor irk, I suppose, or major irk, it depends, but if you go use the buffet, and we like to use the buffet for breakfast and lunch, and then go for one of the sit-down a la carte restaurants for evening meal. But for a ship of that size, The buffet was very poorly laid out. It was very narrow. You could never hardly get a seat during peak times when people were always on the ship. And you were just tripping over people because it was like little alleyways that you could only barely get 2 people through. You know, it was just so, it felt so cramped. And, you know, the Royal Caribbean ships, they are generally large. A lot of them are more than 5,000, but they're used to doing big ships, and their buffets are much more open plan. You can move around much more freely. It was awfully designed, if you ask me. But anyway, so there were some of the drawbacks. But I said the staff were friendly. The ship itself, the decor, the feel of it was very nice. It lacked vibrancy. You know, you've got you've got like an area where you walk down the stairs into like this central piazza area. It's a common theme in many ships, and nothing ever went on in the piazza other than a magic guy every day and a piano woman every day. There were no variety of performances. On other ships you've been on, you'll get a couple of singers, you'll get somebody doing some street acts, like some juggling and stuff, a variety of different acts throughout the cruise. This was just a singer, just a piano player and a magic man every day. There was no variety, there was no vibrancy in the piazza, in the central atrium. I think it was called the atrium. There was just nothing. Just nothing. Barely any music played around the ship. And I know some people like quiet areas. You've got quiet areas, you've got your library, places you can read. It's a bit quieter. But on the decks or in the piazza area, most time it was just dead. Just the sound of people chatting. No music, no atmosphere. There was no sort of parties. Some of the cruise liners do like captain's cocktail parties, balloon drop parties, get people involved. Even on Princess, which is catered to all older people, do all this kind of stuff. There was none of that. Nothing at all. Very limited kind of group style entertainment like that. So yeah, I was very underwhelmed, to be honest with you, with the ship and the company's practices. Very disappointed with that, but it didn't detract away from the fact that I had a grand holiday, and it was mainly because of the staff, the friendliness of the staff, meeting some decent people on there, and the fact that I was in good company and I could still have a drink and do the stuff that I wanted to do. I would just have liked some of these things to have been a little bit different, I suppose. But on the whole, yes, a good holiday was had, but I am sincerely considering whether I definitely wouldn't go on that ship again. And I'm debating whether I would ever go on P&O again, to be honest with you, because, I mean, it's a company thing. But then there's a lot of seasoned P&O travellers, and they have recently come off other ships, such as the Britannia and whatnot, and they were all like, the Britannia wasn't like this. What has happened to this ship? This is a completely horror show. So it could be something that's unique to that one ship. I don't know, but didn't fill me with joys of clambering back onto it. So there you go. I thought I'd give you a roundup of my cruise. So there you go. As I predicted at the start of the video, the video would be 30 minutes. So there you go. Enjoy that. But let's not forget the main reason for the update, was to listen to me prattle on about a cruise, was Christmas comedy clips. Get them to me now. Get them to me as soon as you can, so that I can get this done as soon as possible, really. But the deadline is really Christmas Eve, because that's when I start to make the video. But yeah, Christmas party stream also starting on the 22nd of December at 6 p.m. sharp. Head over to the Discord server to get your agenda items suggested. So there you go. Hope you have a good run up to Christmas. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm feeling really festive this year. I'm getting my Christmas tree and decorations put up to on Saturday, this will be the earliest that I've ever put my tree up. I usually do it like the third week, sometimes in December. But this year, as I said, I'm feeling really festive. And then on the weekend, I'm also probably going to get some stocks, some port, get some nice cheeses, start having a sip of port every so often. Maybe I'm getting right into the Christmas spirit. So yeah, hope you enjoy whatever you choose to do. The countdown is on, but yes. Until next time, I'm going to get a cup of tea now. I've talked for far too much. I'll see you soon.